some breaking inputs coming in with regards to the UCC. Now, as the debate over implementation of UCC continues to simmer, Parliamentary Panel for Law and Justice has now summoned the Law Commission to appear before it on 3rd of July on the UCC issue. The Parliamentary Panel, of course, is headed by Sushil Modi. And remember, it was just this week that Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a strong push for the UCC, asking how the country can function with two parallel laws in place. And he's clearly gone on to condemn dual laws that govern personal matters. And now the latest we are learning is that the Parliamentary Panel, which is headed by BJP's Sushil Modi, has in fact summoned the Law Commission with regards to the UCC, and they will be expected to be present on the 3rd of July. Much awaits during this summoning. Besides the Law Commission, the panel headed by BJP Rajya Sabha MP Sushil Modi will hear the views of the Department of Legal Affairs and the Legislative Department as well. Remember, this will be a very significant interaction because, in fact, we have our legal correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar joining me on the phone line. Ananya, remember, the Law Commission has been seeking some very significant views from various public religious bodies as far as the Uniform Civil Code is concerned. How significant will be 3rd of July now?
Well, 3rd of July seems to be a very, very important meeting when it comes to the Parliamentary Committee on, in fact, the Law and Justice. This is, remember, headed by Sushil Modi, and what the country, including Mahesh Jethwani, is a part of this particular committee. And what is very, very crucial to note is that three major stakeholders in this whole debate of personal laws or the changes to these personal laws have been invited. It includes the Legislature Department, includes the Department of Legal Affairs and the Law Commission of India, which is actually going on to study and report on particular issue with regards to whether there should be a change in the personal laws, whether there can be a uniform civil code in the country. And remember that reported that, the Law Commission has received over 8.5 lakh public views on this issue. So that might also be discussed in fact, this particular meeting that takes place on July 3. The meeting would be Sushil Modi, who's the chairman of this parliamentary committee. And this seems to set the tone straight for, the Uniform Civil Code debate in the parliament, because this was an issue that was referred by the Ministry of Law and Justice to the Law Commission of India. And in fact, the Law Commission is currently under the process of studying this and reviewing this. The 21st Law Commission we had before the commission had, opined that there shall not be, it is not the right time to implement a uniform civil code in the country. But whether things have changed, whether there is a scope for a uniform civil code, and what have the people said, what have the general public said, is something that we'll get to know about on this particular meeting.
Absolutely, but also important to, in fact, discuss what the opposition has to say. Let me take that question from Payal, who's also joining me on the phone line. Payal, the opposition has criticized the Law Commission as far as the UCC is concerned. Could you take us through why the opposition has come up with that criticism? What's that criticism?
Well, the opposition has been telling very clearly that the entire, form of the bill and the form in which the legislation is going to take place has to be discussed threadbare. That's one of the reasons. This is a very wise move, in a way, referring it to a parliamentary committee. Because the discussion would take place before the bill would actually come into parliament. This is a new norm that one has really seen, whether it is a data protection bill or this bill right now as well. So obviously, in this committee, Akansha, you'll have people from various political parties. There are, of course, a lot of legal minds. I was hearing our colleagues speak. A lot of legal minds are also there on this committee, so they would also be deliberating and discussing this. And very importantly, that before this, before the summoning of the Law Commission, before this particular parliamentary panel, this panel has visited Goa and studied the Goa Civil Code, which is very, very similar to the Uniform Civil Code as well. So that kind of a research and that kind of a background study has really been done. And you remember Sushil Modi is a BJP MP from the Rajya Sabha who is heading this particular committee. And the BJP will try and push through this legislation and try and push through, all the hurdles that come at the initial stage from here on. So that, initially, there has been a lot of reservation that has been expressed by political parties. But many political parties are still waiting to see the shape and the form in which the bill will really go. So the appearance of the Law Commission before this, and also the officers from the Ministry of Law and Justice, is going to be extremely crucial in that meeting which takes place on Monday. We have leaders from across the political circuit.
Absolutely. Ananya, if I could bring you in on this, we know that in the last 30 days, there's been much reviewing of the various submissions that have taken place. What happens now after the 3rd of July? Will there be any further review or any more submissions needed?
Well, the Law Commission had given out a time of 1 month. Remember, it was given out on 14th of June, and the 1 month period will continue till the 14th of July itself. And religious bodies, including that of the AIMPLB, is seeking that, the time of giving out their views and expressions should be extended by at least 6 months, though we have not heard from the Law Commission as to whether it would be extending it or not. But what we've heard so far is that 8 were, in fact, received by the Law Commission till this number might have increased in the last 2 days as well. And this might also increase till the 3rd of July. So when the commission would actually complete, this one, there will be a lot more views, and we might see different views coming in from the legislative department. We might see views coming in from, in fact, the Department of Legislature of the Ministry of Law and Justice as well, which would also be discussed in fact, the July 3rd meeting. So this would also help the Law Commission of India go and study this topic very, very deeply. And as Payal was also pointing it out to us, that, they've already gone to study the Goa Civil Code. So all of this combined together, the Law Commission would then be actually having a more broader perspective. And this meeting would not only give the Law Commission a broader perspective, but can also set the tone straight for the Parliament debate and could broaden the whole aspect when the matter actually reaches the Parliament, when the Law Commission completes it, or when the Parliament comes back to session. Questions might be asked by various, parliamentarians over this particular issue.
All right. Many thanks to you, Ananya and Payal, for joining in with those precious